from RTL. RTL? I don't know who they are, but I'm RTO. Welcome to Friday, the last day of the week. Where's the week gone? If you was watching the live stream last night, sorry guys, I cut it short. My throat started to give me some grief. So it was lots of gargling in an early night, and I feel really good this morning. Best I felt all week, so heading into the weekend on great form. So today we are looking at Asia, because it's live music today, live albums, but we're not doing all 35. I don't own all 35. I only own 11. So this is my personal collection of Asia live albums. I've got 11. So let's have a look, see what's on them, and see which is my favourites and my, well, not least favourites. I like them all, but this is the preference that I like them. So coming in at number 11, we have The Heat of the Moment, Golden Hits Live in Concert 2005. The band at the time was Jeff Downes on keyboards and backing vocals, John Payne lead vocals, bass guitar, Guthrie Govan on guitar, and Jay Shellen on the drums. This is basically Heat of the Moment, not done by the original band. So on here we get Time and Again, Soul Survivor, we get Don't Cry off the second album, a great little keyboard solo from Jeffrey Downes, which includes Video Killed the Radio Star, which is pretty cool. Only Time Will Tell, Rock and Roll Dream, Starless, a track from, of course, King Crimson, which was pretty cool for them to do that, considering John Wetton's wasn't in the band at the time. Book on Saturday again, another King Crimson. The Smile Has Left Your Eyes, a track from the second album, I believe. Wildest Dreams, and The Heat Goes On, and Heat of the Moment. Now, I think John Payne does a fine vocal performance on this album. The production's good. I think some of them songs off Alpha, are much better live. Anyway, but what it doesn't sound right is the guitar solo. Don't get me wrong, Guthrie's a very good guitar solo, but he's not Steve Howell. It's an enjoyable album. Forget that it's not John Wetton singing on it. It's a really good, well-produced album. So I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 6 out of 10. So coming in at number 10, we have an album called Access All Areas, released in 2015, but it was recorded in Nottingham in 1990. By this time we'd got Carl Palmer's back on drums, Jeff Downes is still there on the keys, lead guitar on this one is Pat Thrall, and lead vocals and bass is the one and only Mr. John Wetton. Songs we get on this one are Wildest Dreams, Soul Survivor, a sort of a semi-acoustic Don't Cry, Voice of America. Now that sounds really good on here. It's one of my favourite songs off the Astra album. It really is good. Time Again, Praying for a Miracle, The Sun Has Left Your Eyes, again sounds really good on here. Only Time Will Tell, classic. Days Like These, The Heat Goes On, Go, sounds good on here. Heat of the Moment, Open Your Eyes. Again, the guitar solos don't sound right. The production on this is all over the place. Some of it's good, some of it's bad. It's a real mishmash of recordings, I think. But I do like the stuff off Astra and Alpha on here. They do sound a lot better live, I think. It's an okay album. I wouldn't say it's my favourite, but it's got some tracks that do sound good live. So I'm going to give this one an RTO ranking of 6.5. Okay, part of that sort of package of 2015, we have Live in Moscow access all areas. This was a performance done in Russia on their Now and Then tour. It's the same lineup as the previous album, John Wetton, Cole Palmer, Pat Thrall and Jeff Downes. On this one we get Only Time Will Tell, Soul Survivor, Baby Blue, Days Like These, Rendezvous, which was a track of course by UK, pretty cool version as well, and The Heat Goes On, Book of Saturday, another King Crimson, Praying for You, it's not too bad, Go, it sounds alright, Smile Has Left Your Eyes, Open Your Eyes, Heat of the Moment. Good selection of songs. Again, the production's all over the place, which is a shame, but it's a good solid live album, so I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 7 out of 10. Okay, coming in at number 8 we have America Live in the USA 2002. It was recorded at the Patriots Theatre, New Jersey in 2002. On here we've got John Payne on vocals and bass, drums is Chris Slade, guitar is Guthrie Govan, and keyboards is Jeff Downes. We've got on here, we've got The Heat Goes On, Days Like These, Awake, Arena, Military Man, Wherever You Are, Who Will Stop the Rain, Bad Asteroid, Don't Cry, Kings of the Day. You get a keyboard solo from Mr. Jeffrey Downes. It's got Cutting It Fine, a bit of bolero, goes on a bit though. Then we get a little medley of Love Under Fire, Sad Situation and Longest Night, Ready to Go Home, So Survivor, Free Only With Time Will Tell, Go and Heat of a Moment. A good listen. Some of these John Payne led Asia songs live are brilliant. They are much better than the studio. I really like this album. The only thing that lets it down is the production. So I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 7.5. Okay, coming in at number 7 is the most current live album they put out in 2021. It's called the Official Live Bootlegs. So we got Cole Palmer, Steve Howell, Jeff Downes and John Wetton, that classic lineup. Disc 1 is recorded at the Clemens Musical Buffalo in 1982. So on here we've got Time and Again, One Step Closer, Without You, which is a brilliant version. Then we get The Ancient and the Clap, a little Steve Howell solo. Midnight Sun, great version of it. It's much more on the album version of this. It's a little bit lacking something, but the live version's got a little bit more beef. Only Time Will Tell, Cutting It Fine, a Jeffrey Downes keyboard solo. Wildest Dreams, Here Comes the Feeling, featuring a absolute will you get on with it drum solo from Cole Palmer. Soul Survivor, Heat in the Moment. The second disc is done in 83 at the Centrium in Worcester, Massachusetts. On here we've got Wildest Dreams, Time Again, The Heat Goes On, Eye to Eye, which is a very good version, Only Time Will Tell, Jeffrey Downes solo, Beginnings, Valley of Rocks and Claps from Steve Howell, Midnight Sun, Don't Cry, The Last to Know, Open Your Eyes, Smile Has Left Your Eyes, Here Comes the Feeling with that blooming long drum solo. I sort of skipped that because it's just get on with it. I don't mind drum solos, but I don't like loads, because the song itself, Here Comes the Feeling, is about 3 or 4 minutes. The track is 15 minutes 10. Soul Survivor, Heat of the Moment, and the last disc is recorded in 2007 in Sao Paulo. We get Time and Again, Wildest Dreams, One Step Closer, a pretty cool version of Roundabout, Cutting It Without You, really good, Cutting It Fine and Bolero, The Clap, a really good version of Fanfare for the Common Man, Smile Has Left Your Eyes, an acoustic version of Don't Cry, The Court of the Kings and Crim, pretty good version, Here Comes the Feeling, Video Kills the Radio Star, the whole blooming song, sounds pretty good, The Heat Goes On, featuring Cole Palmer solo. I mean, that's 9 minutes 36, most of it is Cole Palmer's drum solo. Only Time Will Tell, Soul Survivor. Now, a track called Ride Easy. Now, Ride Easy was the B-side of Heat of the Moment single. It's great, it's a great track, and it's great live. And we end up with Heat of the Moment. Then we have a concert recorded in Tokyo in 2008. Daylight, Only Time Will Tell, Wildest Dreams, Never Again, pretty good. Roundabout, Time and Again, Bolero, I love their version of Bolero. Clap, Voice of America, The Smile Has Left Your Eyes, Ride Easy Again, Open Your Eyes, Fanfare for the Common Man, Without You, Extraordinary Life, I love that song, love that, it's even better live. Caught the Kings and Crim Again, Video Killed the Radio Star. The Heat Goes On with a drum solo from Carl again, and he's added more to it, so it's now 11:26. Heat of the Moment, Don't Cry, Soul Survivor. The next disc, there's quite a lot on this. I haven't listened to, I've listened to bits of it to get this, but I haven't listened to every damn disc yet. Live at the HMV Forum in 2010, I Believe, Only Time Will Tell, Holy War, Never Again, Through the Veins, Lute Concerto in D minor, the second movement. Don't Cry, The Smile Has Left Your Eyes, Open Your Eyes, Finger on the Trigger, I love that track. Time and Again, Extraordinary Life, End of the World, The Heat Goes On, Soul Survivor. He shortened the drum solo in The Heat Goes On, by the way. Go and Heat of the Moment. This is a really good collection of concerts through the career. Some of the recordings are a little bit weird. I mean, the first one's the bass is so distorted it's very hard to understand. But I still think this is a very, very good little box set, and I enjoy listening to it. So I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 7.8. Okay, coming in at number 6, another album released in 2021, and this is Aurora Live. It's another little box set, and this features Jeff Downes on keyboards and vocals, John Payne lead vocals and bass guitar, Vinnie Burns guitar, Trevor Thornton drums, and Steve Howell guests on this. Okay, the first CD was recorded at the Town and Country Club in 1992. Goes Go, Lay Down Your Arms, Love Under Fire, Rock and Roll Dream, which is pretty good on here. Then you get John introducing people. Little Rich Boy, this is the best version I've got of this. It's terrific. Cutting It Fine, Video Kill the Radio Star, Voice of America, Aqua Part 1, brilliant on here, absolutely brilliant. Who Will Stop the Rain, great. Wildest Dreams. Then we got an acoustic set that was recorded in Germany in 1997. On here is Jeff Downes lead, John Payne, Isis Imbran on guitar, and Rob Richards drums. These are all acoustics and they really are good. Heat Goes On, Different Worlds, Back in Town, Summer, Don't Call Me, Military Man, Cutting It Fine, Video Kill the Radio Stars, Arena, Only Time Will Tell, Feels Like Love, Who Will Stop the Rain, Sad Situation, Heat of the Moment. They're great acoustic, brilliant. Then we got CD3. This is a mixture of people. The first 5 tracks are recorded in 1992 in Osaka, Japan. and that is Jeff Downes, John Payne, Vinnie Burns, Trevor Horn, Thornton and Steve Howe guesting. And the 6 to 9 tracks are recorded in Philadelphia in 1992, where it's Jeff Downes, John Payne, as is Ibram and Michael Sturgis on the drums. So we got Love Under Fire, great version. Someday, Steve Howe does a little solo. Voice of Reason, brilliant. A Far Cry, these are brilliant versions. Aqua, Don't Cry. Open Your Eyes, Soul Survivor. Remembrance Die, Anytime, Summer and Desire. This is a brilliant album. It really does capture the John Payne era of Asia. Some of these tracks are the definitive versions of them tracks from that time. They sound so much better live. I love this album. I really do. It's I do like the John Payne Asia. But this is brilliant. He sings all the John Wetton songs brilliantly. It's just a fantastic album, and I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 8 out of 10. Okay, coming in at number 5, we have an album that was released in 2012. It's called Renaissance, the Omega Tour, 2010. It was recorded in Basel, Switzerland on the 4th of May 2010. We've got Carl Palmer on the drums, Steve Howells on the guitars, Jeffrey's on the keyboards and John's on the bass. So we've got that wonderful classic lineup together. I Believe opens up the album. It's a brilliant version on here. Only Time Will Tell, Holy War, Never Again, Through My Veins, a brilliant version of Don't Cry. All's A Chord, Valley of the Rocks, The Smile Has Left Your Eyes, brilliant. Finger on the Trigger, Open Your Eyes, Time Again, a brilliant version of Extraordinary Life. End of the World. Heat Goes On, yes, and guess what? Cole's giving it large. It's 10 minutes. About 8 or 9 minutes of that is of Cole going around the drum kit. Soul Survivor, Go, pretty good version. Heat at the Moment, and Wildest Dreams. This is a great album. Play this one a lot. The tracks off the later albums again sound a lot better live. Superb album. So I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 8.6. So coming in at number 4, released in 2017, this is Symfonia, live in Bulgaria, 2013, and some of the tracks are recorded with the Plovdiv Opera Orchestra, recorded in September 2013. On here we've got Carl Palmer on the drums, guitar and backing vocals Sam Coulson, keyboards Jeffrey Downes as ever. He's been on everything they've done, and then John Wetton of course, and the orchestra of course. So we got Soul Survivor, Time and Again, Face the Bridge, On My Own, Holy War, Extraordinary Life, Days Like These, Open Your Eyes. Then the orchestra do the last bits. Only Time Will Tell and Don't Cry in Heroin. Smile Has Left Your Eyes, Wildest Dreams, Heat of the Moment. First part is great, but the second CD with the orchestra with some of these great tracks, it's outstanding. Love playing this album. So I'm going to give this one an RTO ranking of 8.7. Okay, coming in at number 3, an album that was released in 2009. It's called The Spirit of the Night, the Phoenix Tour, and it's recorded at the Haggis Farm Polo Club, Barton, Cambridge in the UK. This is the classic lineup of Carl Palmer, Steve Howe, Jeffrey Downes and John Wetton. Usual sort of suspects on here, but it's still a great album. Only Time Will Tell, Time Again, Extraordinary Life, My Own Time, Open Your Eyes, stonking version of Fanfare for the Common Man. Here Comes the Feeling, Never Again, The Heat Goes On, Soul Survivor, Don't Cry, Heat of the Moment. And you get a bonus track on here that was recorded in Detroit, Midnight Sun. Very intimate concert. The main tracks, very intimate. Sounds great. It sounds like they just turned up and playing in your lounge. Some great versions of the classics. So I'm going to give that one an RTO ranking of 8.8. So coming in at number 2, we have Fantasia live in Tokyo. It was released on the 21st of June 2007, recorded on the 8th of March in the Shinjuku Hall in Tokyo. Again, it's the classic lineup of John Wetton, Steve Howe, Jeff Downs and Carl Palmer. Timing again's brilliant on here. Wildest Dreams, One Step Closer. Best versions of these songs on this album. Roundabout, really good to hear that. Let's do a very good version of it. Without You, Cutting It Fine. In Section Blues, a little thing from Steve Howe. Stonking version of Fanfare for the Common Man, as good as an ELP version. My favourite version of this outside of ELP, of course. The Smile Has Left Your Eyes, Don't Cry. Then we get a stunning version of In the Court of the Kings and Crim. Here Comes That Feeling, really good. The best version I've ever heard of Video Killed the Radio Star. The Heat Goes On, pretty good. Got a bit of a solo in there, but not too much of one. Carl, Only Time Will Tell, Soul Survivor, the best version of Ride Easy. Heat of the Moment album, it's got everything on it, and it goes through the whole of everyone's career it's in the band, which is pretty cool. And it's got great production on this, best production. And I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 8.9. Oh, the voice is going. Just one moment. My number 1 is it's an album featuring the classic lineup. It's Asia Enso Kai live in Tokyo, recorded at the Budokan in 1983 and released in 2001. It's a very short album. It's basically the first album. We've got The Heat Goes On, Here Comes the Feeling, Eye to Eye, song off the second album, Only Time Will Tell, Open Your Eyes, The Smile Has Left Your Eyes, Wildest Dreams, Heat of the Moment, Soul Survivor. Why is this album number 1 and so it's very short? Because these are the best versions of these songs I've got. Especially the ones off Alpha. On the album they lack something, but on here they've got so much energy and they sound better live. It's an absolutely brilliant album. I think this is when Asia were really at the top of their game. You know, the trouble with Asia, they had that first album sold gazillions, and then when you have an album like that, the next ones are really, the second album's always the hardest, and they sort of started going downhill, which was such a shame. But this is just truly an amazing short live performance of this from this first 2 albums, and I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 9 out of 10. Okay, if this is the first time you're watching us, we've got loads to look at, and if you like what we do, subscribe, and then you'll be able to get notifications of what's coming up. I'll be back later with a new album review, and we're going to be looking at Impera by Ghost. So join me for that. I'll be back later then. Bye for now.